And there's no need to be worried. I'll put them back on once we're finished here. No, that's okay. You can leave them off. Now, why don't we give this another go? Come one and all to Sherlock Holmes's Theatre of Logic and Reason. Okay, so now it's the second half. Oh, there we go. Review start. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. Oh, this is cool. Oh god, I'm just so giddy about it. It's so good. So, behold Mr. Roylott, the mysterious Russian. First let your eyes be drawn towards this. The scissors. This oversized pair of scissors sticking out like a sore thumb. Now just what in the devil were you planning to do with those? With just a little observation, the answer becomes obvious. You intended to cut off your splendid beard with those scissors. Oh, there we go. Are those the kinds of scissors you'd cut a beard with? I don't have any intentions of ever growing a beard like that, so I don't really know. I think Mr. Roylott isn't so sure himself. In other words, this part of the deduction seems a little off. In that case, Naruhodo, let's try replacing it with something else. Sounds good to me, but how should we go about doing that? First, let's stop and take a good look at Mr. Roylott himself. Was it really the beard he wanted to cut off? There you go, that's a good question. Next, look for the answer. When I find it, then the rest is in your hands. What exactly is she telling me to do? Okay, I'll give it a try. Time to replace this logic. What was Mr. Roylott really going to cut off with those scissors? Oh. Oh! Wait a minute. Is this the ballerina? Kinda wish I could, like... The blonde hair. Pretty hair. Wait. She's disguised as a bloke. Huh. What happens if I examine it? But, what? Susato, look at this! Oh my, what beautiful golden hair! No. I'm not talking about its beauty. Why is hair even growing here in the first place? Not only that, but it's coming out from underneath a bunch of thick black fur. It's very strange, and yet it's also curiously beautiful. Something is clearly wrong here. Yeah, present the pretty hair. I'm going to guess this is the ballerina. In disguise. Pretty hair. Oh my god, this just keeps getting better. This is so cool. You intended to cut off your pretty hair with those scissors. God, if this keeps up, this might actually become my favourite Ace Attorney game ever. Absolutely. Indubitably, that's what I meant to say. Of course. Such beautiful golden locks couldn't possibly belong to an old man. You're actually a woman, aren't you? And judging by your hair's sheen, you're clearly a young girl at that. Yep. It's the ballerina. If only I had the chance to cut my hair, then I would not be found out. Thanks for the follow, Sparagino. Appreciate it. And how's it going? Now then, why would you have had such an urgent need to cut that beautiful hair? That too is quite obvious, and I have the evidence to back it up. Surely you must understand by now. Oh, we just have to present the other side of the article. This article reveals your true identity, the newspaper's revolutionary article. Wow, I sure wasn't expecting that. I can't believe that old man was actually a little girl this entire time. What is it? Why are you staring at me? Well, it was definitely shocking, but what's even more surprising to me is how much you seem to enjoy this kind of thing. Oh, how can you not enjoy this? This is so cool! Huh? Despite your situation, you still ended up jumping around in glee. And just who was jumping around in glee? Not me. It was just that I only... Fine, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, look at this. Think back to Mr. Holmes's logic earlier. That evidence he brought up seems a little strange now, doesn't it? It does. If Mr. Roylott is really a woman, then that means the article about the revolutionary isn't related to the case anymore. And because of that, the flow of logic has changed course entirely. What does that mean for us? We should replace this evidence so that it matches the flow of logic. For some reason, that girl needed to hide her true identity. And I feel like I heard something about a young girl not too long ago. Yeah, you did. Understood. Alright, I'll give it a shot. Oh yeah. What am I doing? The missing ballerina article. Yep, with her long, pretty hair. Boom! I just love how it shatters everything. This article reveals your true identity. The newspaper's missing ballerina article. Indubitably, without a doubt, that must be it. Beautiful flower of the prestigious Novovich Ballet Company goes missing. I do believe that we are finally able to call you by your real name. Your true identity is the ballerina from the Novovich Ballet Company. Nikomina Borzhevich. Oh dear. Oh. Oof. Oh my god, it is. I mean, it was... As soon as we saw the blonde hair, it was fairly obvious. She's 15? Holy crap. It is as you say. Hey, hey! My real name is Nico. Nikomina Borzhevich. Please, tell no one. You got it, Roylet. What was it? That's why there's 2 lines. Defected ballerina. Solved. Now we just have topic number 2 to tear apart. Next we have my second deduction. It seems to me that we have caught you in the act of committing a terrible crime. Now as for the proof of that crime, it's right over there, is it not? As I expected, it appears that you have shown your hand, Miss Nikomina. When people are taken by surprise, they tend to reflexively shift their gaze. It is a classic tell, more eloquent and powerful than mere words could ever convey. Yes, our answer lies directly in your line of sight, so carelessly directed. The proof of your crime? Elementary. It's that trunk. Yeah, I'm gonna say, maybe it's something else that's in that direction, though. If that girl is actually the ballerina, then there's obviously no way she packed up that trunk. She's packed up in that trunk right now. Right, in fact, the idea that she was abducted at all is now disputable. Then what exactly is this girl's actual crime? Looks like I have no choice. I'll have to take the stage again. Naruhodo, you're certainly enjoying all of this, aren't you? Jumping around the room and joining Mr. Holmes in his theatrics must be so thrilling. Please stop teasing me. Anyway, some other evidence that reveals her true crime must be here somewhere. Oh wow, that's clever, because it's quite literally directly in that line of sight. The tiara! Of course. The proof of your crime? Elementary. It's that tiara. This must be the tiara used on stage by the Novovich Ballet Company, right? It's worth 22,000 rubles. It bears a striking resemblance to the one you can see in this news article. According to the article, this tiara is valued at 20,000 rubles. Oh. Where did I get 22 from? Whatever. In other words, that would make the nature of your crime grand larceny. You pilfered that tiara from the ballet school you were a member of, didn't you? I was gonna say she's gonna take off the hat. I am all alone. No allies, no friends. I am needing money to survive. But I did not steal tiara. That is not true. A Prussian earl gave it to me. It belongs to me now. A 15-year-old girl, seeking asylum all on her own. I can't imagine how scared and alone she must feel. Are you happy? I've told you everything. No, not yet. Huh? There is still another mystery left to unravel. I do not understand. You have obstinately refused my request to have that trunk opened and examined. Surely you must have some sort of important reason to do so. Yeah, I can't get over how cool this is. I know I keep saying and, you know, bigging it up like this is so cool, but it really is. There's been nothing like this in any of the other Ace Attorney games, and it's really cool. I can't help but say it. Is that not the case, Miss Nikamina? I must keep secret from this man, you think to yourself, but it is futile. I've already found a way to infer the contents of the trunk, you see. Ah, good grief. You're not much of a criminal, are you? Your line of sight betrayed your secret so easily. Yet the answer lies directly in your line of sight, so carelessly directed. Oh! Oh! What? The reason you can't allow us to open the trunk is written in the books on the shelf. Mr. Holmes' deduction has totally changed from what he was saying before. I assume he must have changed directions to take our new deductions into account. Even so, he just blurted out that it must be the books on the cabin shelf. That's nothing more than a random guess. It's painfully obvious. I wonder if that's really the case. I mean, no matter what her reason is for refusing our access to the trunk, how could it possibly be written anywhere in those books? It's too convenient. You may be right, but Nikamina did unmistakably steal a glance in that general direction. So you're saying that the reason she refuses to open the trunk lies somewhere within her line of sight, this time too. Right, we need to make the same assumption this time around. Why won't she open that trunk? It's a dog. Still saying it's a dog. The answer to that question has to lie somewhere in her line of sight. It's a dog! It is a fucking dog! Yeah, the placard, it says no pets or... not pets. No, weapons or animals are allowed on board. It's a dog. Or cat. I'm going with dog. So, books on shelf. Oh, I can't even... Oh, it does actually pop up. Painting. The placard. Or notice. Yeah, if we read it, it'll probably say, SSL Claire's boarding regulations are written here. Do not store any dangerous things, such as weapons or animals, in the cabins. The same message was posted in our cabin. What do you think would happen to us if we broke these rules? Thrown overboard. Why, I'm sure it'd be something quite terrible. Such as being thrown overboard into the freezing cold ocean. Or perhaps, we might be confined inside some terribly narrow wardrobe. It's beginning to sound like I've been taking this punishment for quite a while. Well, there it is. It's, quite obviously, the notice. She has an animal with her. The reason you can't allow us to open the trunk is the notice. To open the trunk is written on the notice. Do not store any dangerous things, such as weapons or animals, in the cabins. Something inside that trunk is prohibited on this ship. Because of this, you cannot risk opening the trunk and allowing us to examine its contents. Earlier, we noticed that the trunk moved on its own. If you had a weapon hidden in there, that wouldn't explain the trunk's movement. And so only one possibility remains. Miss Nikamina, inside that trunk is a dog. Oh my god. You're harbouring the other thing that can't be kept in the cabins. An animal. Oh, if it's a dog, I called this the moment I saw it. So the crime is smuggled animal. God, open the bloody case. Let the thing get some air. Deduction complete. Oh my god, elementary! Oh, wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Can we find out what the dog is? What's in the trunk? So you're actually... Grimsby Roiler is not my real name. Obviously. It is Nikomina Borshevich, just as you say. You disappeared from the ballet school mid-performance in order to flee Russia. And last night, you stealthily made your way aboard the ship. Stealthily? The SSL Claire is a colossal steamship. Is it even possible to board the ship without anyone noticing? You hastily disguised yourself as an old man in hopes of hiding your true identity. And you decided to chop off that long blonde hair of yours along with the rest of your past. However, a woman's hair is her crowning glory. It is precious enough to be considered her life. If it were me, I would have refused to cut it off and struggled to find another wear. But if that's the case, then... What was that distressed cry we all heard coming from this cabin? Why the distressed yet beautiful bell-like peal of this lovely lady's cries? Naturally. That was one loud bell, then. I escaped from Shanghai. In fear. I know they search for me. I put on disguise so no one can find me. And you ended up taking on the role of a fairly suspicious old man, I see. After I put on beard and hat, I saw newspaper. Inside was my picture. I was so scared I shouted without thinking. If I do not do more to change appearance, they will find me. I knowed I need to cut off hair, so I grabbed scissors. And it was precisely at that moment that we entered the cabin. I suppose circumstances like these really do happen every once in a while. Indubitably, such is the current situation. This is all a lot more confusing than it needed to be. But it was so much cooler, too. And flashy. Excuse me, Nikomina, but there is one last thing that I would like to ask. Can you open the trunk? Let that poor animal breathe! Just what is it that you've been hiding in that trunk? Inside, my precious friend hides. Watch it not be a dog, it's a snake. Oh, it could be a snake, actually. It did show that at the start of the case. Please, please, keep secret from captain, sailors, everyone. Wait a minute, if it is a snake, wasn't that referred to as the speckled band? Because that could explain what What's-His-Face saw. Well, I suppose that's fine. However... only if you speak with us of the events that transpired last night. Understood? Yes, I am talking. I want to open the trunk. So what do you think, Naruhodo? We were able to witness the great deductions of Sherlock Holmes firsthand. Well, after we helped them. To be perfectly honest, I think that I'm still a little confused over which part of this is the great deduction. Clearly. He's been in there for a good 10 minutes. Or more. At any rate, at least we can hear what Nikomina has to say now. That's amazing. That's right. It certainly is quite amazing. I think he just scared Susato. Ah, that's right. I almost forgot about you. Yes, what is it? Cuffs. Take a look at your hands again. Ah, of course. My hands? No! My freedom! The handcuffs, they're back on again. How did I not notice? What? This? How? As promised, I put them right back where they belonged in a jiffy. When did he even do that? The suspicions cast upon you have not yet been considered cleared, after all. We don't have much choice in the matter. I hope you understand. I suppose. Do we really not? At any rate, we ought to listen to what Nikomina has to say. Personally speaking, I am curious about this mysterious speckled band that Kazuma witnessed. Last night. So I take it you're aware that a murder occurred in the cabin next door? Yes, sailors tell me during breakfast. The one who died was our friend. That is true? That's why we're trying to gather information right now, for his sake. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Something that sounded like a conversation or anything? Or the sound of a ship overtaken by a raging storm, or a huge explosion from the engine? I think everyone would have noticed something like that. Anyway, did you hear anything, Nikamina? I am knowing nothing. I was not thinking of anything but me. I am knowing nothing at all. I see. Defection. So you ran away from the Novovich Ballet Company, is that right? Yes. I go to Great British... Pardon me. The Great British Empire. From there, I board ferry to America. I'm done with ballet. I want to start new life. At 15? You say you're done with ballet. But you still decided to bring that tiara along. Tiara is mine. I need Tiara to live. Really? I make no money from ballet group. I get only food and water. From country to country. Only dance all day. I had to run to protect self. That's pretty shitty. Pay your dancers, you douchebags. And so you chose to seek asylum, right? Sailors on this ship are my friends. Oh. Wait, do they actually know who she is then? They let me on board, gave me empty cabin. But if that's the case, there's still one thing that doesn't quite fit. Yes, I see it too, Mr. Holmes. What do you think, Naruhodo? Yes, of course. We should ask Nikamina about that. I have no idea what they're on about, or what they're talking about. Something strange. Might I inquire one thing? According to this article, you only just disappeared yesterday. So, that means the only time you could have boarded the ship was last night. However, the SS Eau Claire did not weigh anchor at a harbour last night. Oh, she's been here for a while. Or was she also a stowaway? Because the sailor did mention that there was nobody... Oh, wait, did they mention there was nobody in the room next door? I honestly don't remember. Now that you mention it. So, how in the world did you manage to board the ship? She swam. Come to think of it, the sailors in the sailor in the hallway was behaving a little strangely, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. It was after we asked him, well, when Mr. Roylott had boarded. That's true. Yeah, that's when he looked to the side, I think. You're not needing that information. That's what he said, if I remember right. Gracefully descending onto the stage, like a snow-white angel. What was that all about? It's about me. Was written in theatre review in Russian newspaper. I am gracefully descending onto ship, too. I am Angel, after all. Okay. Think you've been drinking too much of the Kool-Aid. That's quite the groundbreaking claim you're making, considering your limited English. I wonder if all Westerners are as boldly spoken as Mr. Holmes and young Nikamina here. Like a god amongst men, he gracefully takes in the knowledge of the world. They have written such things about me as well. But that's in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, a serialized, exaggerated novel. At any rate, she doesn't look like she has any intention of telling us the truth of how she got on board. Okay, tell us about your friend. So Nikamina's friend is in the trunk. But this ship forbids animals from being brought on board. Please, keep secret. Do not tell anyone on ship. If they find out, then those brawny Russian sailors will grab that trunk and throw it into the sea. No, that's pretty harsh. You're so mean, Mr. Holmes. So, this friend. Is it a puppy, perhaps? Ha! That's what I said. It's not a puppy. Fuck. After all the times I said it was a dog. I'm going with the fact it might be a snake. Or maybe an adorable little rabbit. Okay. Kitty. You think Russia has adorable little rabbits bouncing around the tundra? Huh? You mean they don't? I'm assuming not. But how should I know? Right. Neither of you are even close to the mark. By friend, she must mean... It's a person. I've got it without a shadow of a doubt. It must be a chicken. A chicken. Well, just think about it. It wakes you up in the morning with its loud crow, and it lays eggs every day. And if push comes to shove, you can just roast it up and have a nice little meal, right? Okay. Something tells me that you're not exactly treating that chicken as a friend. It's not a chicken either. Was I right when I said it was a snake? Nobody mentioned a cat. Well, after all said and done, the fact remains that the identity of her friend is unknown. Oh yeah, what a right gut-wrencher that was. I knew it. She's still wary of us. Still, I feel like there's something I should be showing Nikamina. The book. I'm not sure exactly what, though. Was the speckled band? I'm curious if the speckled band in the intro cutscene of this case, I can't remember if they referred to a snake as a speckled band. Yeah, he saw a speckled band, which might be a snake. He does a little... I like Holmes, though. He's a good character. Then again, all the Ace Attorney games seem to have very good characters. Like, very well written personalities. This is the journal that belonged to my friend who passed away. Journal? He wrote about seeing something last night, and we're curious about it. 1 hour and 23 minutes after midnight. I heard a sound like a low whistle. Oh! It is a snake. And then, 1 hour and 35 minutes after midnight, I saw a speckled band at the air duct. Speckled band. This cabin's air duct is linked to the cabin next door. You can see it right up there. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected. Ah. Nikamina, do you know anything at all about this? About the low whistle the victim heard, or anything about the speckled band? I'm pretty sure the low whistle is the noise it makes. I honestly don't remember much about the cutscene that first played. I just remember the image of a snake, and the words speckled band were used. Whether it was to describe the snake or not, I don't remember. No. I am knowing nothing. I see. Well. Bloody hell. Please, excuse me. I need a moment, Mr. Roylott. What is it? How'd she do that so fast? The captain wants to talk with you about something. Please go to the captain's quarters as soon as possible. Understood. We'll come at once. What is it? Do not ask me that. You must leave, now. Ah, please don't worry about us. We will be fine, Mr. Roylott. Quit playing. You heard him. Get out or I'll throw you out. Or I throw you out myself. It looks like we won't be able to continue inspecting the cabin right now. Ugh. This is quite unfortunate. Indeed it is. please, is this to be continued? Maybe not. And just like that, we were forcefully removed from the cabin. We didn't even have a second to investigate. Oh, we didn't have even a second to investigate before we were thrown out of the room. Quite literally thrown out. To be continued? Oh, okay, good. Whew. It's been 2.5 hours, and I've only gotten through the first... not half. I've gotten through 1/3 of this case, so... For some reason I thought I'd be able to get through it in one session. I mean, I could, if I was to go for 6 hours, which I don't fancy doing. My voice would give out before then. Either way, that is going to be the end of this session. Thanks so much for watching, I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, take care.